Heidegger begins with the declaration, "We shall be questioning concerning technology." He tells us this questioning builds a way. It is a way of thinking about the subject. The purpose of the way we're building is to understand not a particular technology or a set of technologies, but the essence of technology, or rather technology as such. This is important to keep in mind as we move through this essay, because particular examples of technology are merely instantiations of technology. They do not necessarily get at its true nature. We are venturing to know its essence so that we may establish ourselves in free relationship to it. He says, our relationship will be free if it opens to our human existence the essence of technology, right? And so why are we questioning concerning technology? Well, we are questioning concerning technology because we are trying to enter into a free relationship to it. And by understanding it, we can then have a relationship to it which is not beholden to it, but which is understood from the human perspective and is not necessarily entrapped by it either. What is technology? Well, Heidegger tells us it's commonly understood to be two things. That is a human activity as well as a means to an end. These two things, he says, are co-joined. That is, they are conjoined in the essence of technology. We always understand technology in both this instrumental and anthropological sense. This instrumental conception of technology does not yet show us its essence, however. Simply knowing that technology is a means to an end does not necessarily tell us exactly what it is. If that was the case, we would have no need to go further, and the essay would stop right there. So correct answer does not necessarily yield the truth that we are looking for. It merely points to something deeper, so we must go further. To get underneath instrumentality, we have to understand causality, because instrumentality, of course, implies causality. So Heidegger brings up Aristotle's ancient doctrine of the four causes. That is causa materialis, causa formalis, causa finalis, and causa efficiens, or matter, form, end, and effect. In doing so, he brings us the example of a chalice which is made for religious ceremony. It has attributable to it at least four causes: the material cause, its form as a cause, its end as a cause, and the effect as a cause. All four causes are ways of being responsible for something. Taken together, the vessel arises out of how it is circumscribed. Circumscription itself is what gives bounds to it. The silversmith is co-responsible for the vessel as well, but there's no word for him in this rubric. One who gathers all the material forth and brings into being the object of the chalice. The ways of being responsible all occasion its appearance, a bringing forth. So we have the four causes, and we also have the chalice maker, the crafter, the silversmith, who is also co-responsible for the chalice as well as the other causes. But in this doctrine, there's no room for him. What we get out of bringing forth is the word poiesis. Poiesis is a Greek word meaning bringing forth generally, but not just presencing or bringing something into presencing, but also physis, or that which brings itself forth. You can think of a flower, for example, bringing itself forth out of the seed, out of the plant. So something which brings itself forth is a type of poiesis, but it is not a presencing. There's a different kind of presencing, which is giving birth to something that is not of itself. Something arising out of itself, rather, is a physis. Heidegger says that the arts, as well as the crafts, all belong to poiesis. Bringing forth means moving that which is concealed into unconcealment. That is revealing, the Greek word for this being aletheia. So, to reiterate, the chalice is not necessarily pre-circumscribed in, say, the silver that it's made out of. Rather, the silver sets a certain kind of constraint on the chalice, but also the chalice is brought forth out of the silver, much like a statue you would bring forth out of a block of marble. And because the chalice cannot arise on its own, but requires human intervention, it is not of the physis type of poiesis. Rather, it is a type of bringing forth which is brought on by an outside force. Nonetheless, when we have the finished product of the chalice, we have moved from concealment to unconcealment. That is, the chalice itself has been unconcealed from the material, from the form, from the various causes that preceded it. Instrumentality, then, as the fundamental characteristic of technology, then is a way of revealing. Technology itself is a way of revealing, or of bringing things from concealment into unconcealment. Now, Heidegger returns us to techne, or the root word of technology, which was both for skilled crafts as well as arts of the mind and fine arts in its original form. So techne, the Greek word, belongs to poesis. It is something poetic, and it is a bringing forth. But importantly, it encompasses those things which do not reveal themselves readily. That is, those things which belong to aletheia, which is where truth happens. Here we come to modern technology, which is believed to be different in kind from the Greek artifacts, or previous technology, pre-modern technology, because of its deployment of exacting science. Okay, so modern technology too is a way of revealing, but it is not a bringing forth. Rather, it is a challenging. And this is a crucial distinction. So previous iterations of technology, technology which was not commanded to obey the rules of exact science or brought about through methods of exact science, were merely a bringing forth. They weren't necessarily a challenging. What makes modern technology different is that with modern technology, we challenge nature to yield energy, and then we order it as standing reserve. So you can think of something like a forest. Previously, maybe a woodsman would go into the woods and he would chop down a tree, and then he would carve up pieces of that tree, and then he would form an axe out of it. Okay, so in pre-modern technology, this is very basic. You're bringing forth an axe out of the tree. However, with modern technology, we don't see before us a particular tree inside of a forest. Rather, we see the forest itself as a unit of production that is to be shaped, that is to be harvested, that is to be extracted from, and that we will store up as energy in the form of timber, in the form of whatever other products. All of these products, the way in which we reorder the forest is going to be put into a kind of standing reserve, and that standing reserve will be ready for usage. So you can think of something like a lumber yard, right? So a lumber yard, if you take the entire forest, you cut down all of the trees, you view the forest merely as a plot for extraction, and then once those trees are cut down, they're then processed and they are put into stockpiles of wood. That wood does not have a predetermined usage per se, or even a predetermined form. Rather, it is merely set aside as a standing reserve. It is ordered into standing reserve, and that is what we do with modern technology. This challenging which enlists man is also called gestalt, or framing. Thus, the essence of modern technology is in framing. This challenging or setting upon unlocks, transforms, stores, distributes, and switches energy about ever anew. This continual revealing reveals into itself its own manifold interlocking paths, in Heidegger's words. Even securing and regulating resources are part of the challenging revealing, constantly ordered to stand by and standing reserve. In this process, man himself becomes part of the loop, an aspect in the cycle of revealing, until at last he himself is part of the challenging, the standing reserve, a human resource, right? So the lumberjacks who are working for the lumberyard, they themselves are also seen as an integral part of establishing this ordering, this standing reserve. And they are themselves seen as energetic units to be put to work in order to bring about a transformation of energy into new forms. And these forms will not take any kind of final form, rather they will be continually transformed over and over again. This challenging which enlists man is called inframing. Thus, the essence of modern technology is inframing. Modern physics is the herald of inframing, Heidegger says. It sets nature up to exhibit itself as a coherence of forces calculable in advance. That is, the rules of modern physics lay out a blueprint, so to speak, for how to interact with nature, how to order it in a particular way, in a calculable way, in a way that is amenable to numeric and quantitative representations, so that we can yield from it maximal energy, maximal efficiency. The essence of modern technology sets man upon a way in which the real becomes the standing reserve, right? So rather than looking at a particular piece of land or a particular forest or a particular tree as a real object, that object becomes abstracted out and is viewed merely as a piece of standing reserve. There's a kind of abstraction, a kind of representation that is crucial to the way in which modern technology sets man into relationship with the real. He says, quote, "Enframing belongs within the destining of revealing. By exposing the essence of modern technology, we can arrive at free relationship to it, remember? But this enframing sets about a kind of destining, right? And what do we mean by destining? Well, we mean something that is foretold or something that is on its way to a particular endpoint. There's a kind of determinism that's latent in this term destining. The destining of revealing, Heidegger says, is itself a danger, right? Why is it a danger? Well, remember that we're trying to establish ourselves in free relationship to technology. But in this modern conception of technology, in this challenging, in this enframing that we have, man himself also becomes enlisted. And by being enlisted in this process, in this abstraction of the real into a mere representation, the danger is that man himself becomes estranged, both from ways of revealing that do not line up with instrumentality, but also from his own nature as well. So it's a supreme danger because we risk falling into the enframing and confusing that which is revealed for ourselves. Moreover, where this ordering holds sway, man is in danger of driving out every other possibility of revealing. Remember, we talked about the previous ways of revealing that could occur. There are other ways of getting at truth. And the problem with being pulled into the grips of this enframing through modern technology is that we tend to think of instrumentality or of the scientific mindset, the scientific attitude towards nature as the only way of revealing things from it. Enframing conceals the type of revealing that is poiesis. Enframing blocks the shining forth of truth. Thus, the threat of enframing is not from technology itself or particular technology, but to man's own essence, right? We are threatened by becoming distant from our own essence through circumscription in this enframing. Man, that is, threatened to not, quote, enter into a more original way of revealing. So we've established the danger of technology, but Heidegger, it's important, is not trying to demonize technology. He does not think that technology is demonic. He says here towards the end of the essay, he gives us this quote from Holderlin. But where danger is, grows the saving power also. So in this last part of the essay, Heidegger is going to point us towards something that may be a way out of this danger, or at least a way of grappling with the danger. The saving power lies in man pondering what arises from technology. Man is needed for the, quote, safekeeping of the coming to presence of truth. So man is the keeper of revealing. Man is the keeper of truth. And by paying attention, by pondering, by questioning, we can again, as it was stated at the start of this essay, hope to establish ourselves in free relationship to it, and thus not fall into the danger. Thus we return to techne in its broad meaning. There is a possibility that technology may one day entrench itself so thoroughly that it is, quote, that its, quote, essence may come to presence as the coming to pass of truth. So remember that techne in its original meaning applied not only to different crafts, but also to the fine arts and the arts of the mind. And what Heidegger is saying here is that perhaps we may eventually have such thorough saturation of technology that it will basically present itself as a kind of coming to pass in truth. Remember, there is a constant revealing and re-revealing, a kind of ever-transforming manifestation that is also part and parcel of modern technology. And what is this coming to presence as the coming to pass of truth? Well, this is the realm of art. And the more we question the essence of technology, quote, the more mysterious the essence of art becomes. Quote, the closer we come to the danger, the more brightly do the ways into the saving power begin to shine, and the more questioning we become, for questioning is the piety of thought. These are Heidegger's last words on this essay concerning technology. He does not give us a definitive answer. Rather, he leaves us with a task. And that task is to be mindful both of our relationship to technology, but also to our role as human beings, which again is the keepers of truth or the keepers of the ways of revealing. And his hope is that by understanding modern technology, and by understanding the essence of technology, we can return to the even deeper question, which is the essence of art. I hope this has been informative. This is Heidegger's essay on the question concerning technology. It's a really foundational essay, and I hope to do more work on it in scholarship in the future. If you like this video, please share it, please like and subscribe. I will continue investigating this, and I'll probably be reading this essay several more times. I've already read it about 3.5 times already, but trying really to understand this. And I plan on also doing some more videos on a number of other thinkers who've explored technology and science, including Nietzsche and some others. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope this has been informative.